welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, welcome back as always. Glad to be with you. Glad to be with you again.
Glad to be with you as well.
So today, what we thought we would do is sort of take a trip down memory lane, so to speak. We're gonna go a little personal in this episode, and basically what we're gonna do is share with you our top 3 favorite sports that we like to play back in the day, back when we were younger. Also share with you like what positions we played in those sports and just some other fond memories that we have from playing those 3 different sports. So yeah, this is our sort of personal episode, sort of the men behind the behind the faces, so to speak, I guess is what you could call it. So we're going to start off with each of us. We're going to sort of split this up into 3 different like subcategories. So what we're going to start with is each of us are going to go and just name our 3 favorite sports that we played growing up. And it doesn't have to be in a particular order, but we'll just name our top 3 favorite sports that we played. So
yeah, it won't be in chronological. It won't be in chronological order or anything. We'll just name our sports.
So I'm gonna let Kyle go first here. So give it to us.
Well, let's see. One of my favorite sports. I really liked football. I'm not gonna lie. I'll admit I wasn't that good at it. You know, as you, I've mentioned football obviously in the one of the last episodes. I think it was the episode with Craig, actually.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving when we went in sort of depth on the whole football thing.
Yeah, that's right. So one of my favorite sports, as I'm sure you know already, I liked playing football. I really did. It kind of brings out like it's kind of a good sport that kind of brings out the aggression. I mean, it's just kind of I just had a lot of fun playing it. It was a sport that it was none like any other sport I've played before then. So I just remember having a lot of fun. It really taught me a lot on being adverse, like I said before. I just had a great time with it.
So your other 2, we're going top 3. We're going top 3 here.
Top
so
3.
Just
I thought we were doing back 4.
No,
that was my fault.
Your top 3.
So like I said, I really liked football. The other sport I liked, for a little bit I actually did swimming, and swimming was another one of my favorite sports. Granted, I did it when I was in like 4th grade, and I kind of swam all my life. It's one of those things where I never really did it that competitively.
Recreational swimming.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, more recreational. It was just a lot of fun because swimming, I think, in my opinion, is actually one of the greatest workouts I think ever because it works out your arms and your legs at the same time. Yeah. The only sport that really does that is crew. I like crew a lot too, but I mean, never really actually did it except for the workout machines. But but no. Anyways, back on topic. I really swimming was a lot of fun. I'm a water person. Growing up, I always liked sea animals, and I've always liked being in the water. That's always been my thing. Just going to the beach, swimming laps and everything. And let's see. Number 1, I'm gonna have to say track. The field portion of it. I mean, I did a couple running events here and there, but my main thing in track was field. I love field. I love especially like throwing. I love shot put. Shot put's kind of that great event where you can. It requires all your power. You know, it's a sport that requires like the mental thinking, like the kind of the mental planning. There is quite a bit of strategy when you throw shot put or throw discus, but it's kind of it's a mix of it's a mix of mental and brawn. So mainly shot put and discus. Those are my 2 favorite events. And also hammer. Let me tell you, hammer, that's a cool event. If you ever get the chance to try hammer, you should.
All right. Well,
so
Good.
That's my spiel.
Yeah, good to know. I didn't actually know the whole swimming thing about you. I didn't even think of swimming. You know, that's a good one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so my three favorite, and they're kind of in chronological order, but definitely my top sport of all time is baseball.
Oh yeah.
Especially playing. The sport that I played the most of was definitely baseball. I played baseball from like first grade all the way up through 11th grade. And, you know, granted I was never a varsity athlete, so to speak. I mostly played in like, you know, town leagues and little league and stuff like that. But I've just always loved playing the game of baseball and just being out there on the field, and just it's a great sport to play. You know, it's you get good exercise out of it. You know, it's not that you're not that injury prone playing baseball, and
really.
it's just a cool thing. I have a lot of cool memories from playing over the years which we'll get into in a few moments here. But then my second one would be basketball. I played basketball, I think 3rd grade through like 9th, 10th grade. And basketball, you know, it's just, you know, it's again a good exercise sport. You do a lot of running and stuff like that. And again, I have some very fond memories of playing basketball in town, playing with my friends, and
yeah, basketball's fun.
Had a lot of cool experiences playing basketball. And then, this may surprise a lot of you, but football. I only played 2 years of football. I played 8th grade and freshman year. And while I wasn't the most physical of football players, and while I didn't really enjoy that part of the game, I enjoyed sort of the team aspect of it. I enjoyed playing with my friends. I enjoyed, you know, being part of a team, and, you know, especially the games. I love the football games, you know, just getting to play against such cool opponents, and, you know, things like that, road trips and things like that. That was
nice.
That was my favorite part of it all. So yeah, so football would definitely be on the list. Probably also partially because I didn't really play any other sports for a lot of periods of time. But yeah, so those are my top 3. Again, wasn't really into the physical aspect of football, which is, you know, no big component, but definitely into the team aspect of it. So next, sorry, were you going to say something?
Oh no, I was just really quickly. I was going to say, yeah, I kind of agree. Actually, even though football is a pretty aggressive sport, and it's a good sport to get out your aggression, I actually liked sprinting was my favorite part of practice. I was one of the few that liked sprinting more than hitting, but anyways, that's just a little side note.
So now we're going to move on to sort of the second portion of our conversation here, and just sort of go over what positions, or in your case, sort of what events we did in our 3 favorite sports. I'll start this time. So for baseball, the later part of my career, I was mostly a first baseman. I'm tall, so it was just natural. I played first and could go up and make the high catches and stuff like that. I also played a little bit of second base, played a little bit of outfield. Actually, I pitched too a couple times, like in my career. So I had this one pitch that, like, it was like the only pitch I really threw. Just basically started up and came straight back down, and either the batter crushed it out of the park or swung and missed wildly. Yeah, that's so. We called it the blooper ball.
Wild cards, because the wild card.
Yeah, exactly. And then for basketball, I was usually, you know, again with my size and height and stuff like that. I played center and power forward, much like I know this guy did a lot of. I was usually one of the, if not the tallest kid on like all my teams for most of my basketball career. So I was sort of the down low guy, and scored a lot of points off rebounds.
There you go.
I'll say that.
The advantage of the tall guys, right?
Gotta get up there, grab those rebounds, just yeah, exactly. And then for football, I didn't play a lot, like during games, stuff like that, you know, but I wasn't an offensive or defensive tackle. Again, wasn't into the whole physical aspect of it, but yeah, that's what I played when I saw the field. I think I saw the field more freshman year than I did in 8th grade. 8th grade, I I didn't. There were a couple of games where I didn't really see the field as much as I would have liked. But freshman year, I played every game, which was good. So
that's good. Yeah, they were better about rotating the players, I thought.
Yeah. So anyway, now Kyle, it's your turn to describe some of your positions in those three sports that you mentioned.
Well, honestly, let's see. For football, I liked being a tackle. I was a little baffled at time. Now that I look back on it, I don't know if maybe I should have been like a defensive end or something, because I think I was too tall to be a tackle. Like, people were kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I told you earlier that I wasn't the greatest at football, and I like being a tackle. You have to be like you have to be kind of shorter and stockier, I think. And I was skinny. Okay, so picture that. I was like a 6'4" dude in high school. I was like under 200 pounds. That's kind of light. So, but no. That's beside the point, though. I still really liked actually playing a tackle, especially mainly defensive, because offensive, you just kind of you kind of sit there and block. You just block the guy. You don't really do much aside from just holding your own. Whereas defense, it's funny because this is how the line works in a kind of in the opposite way, sort of. When they're on defense, the linemen are more of like an offensive type of player.
Right.
Whereas like in offense, the line is more like a defense. Yeah. They're trying to block the oncoming players. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I never actually really thought of it that way, but no, it's that's very true statement right there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and I always thought it was just fun, kind of, especially when I didn't make a lot of tackles, but there were a couple of games I had like an assist, so it was kind of cool. It was just kind of I just like being a defensive tackle. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see, for swimming, well,
you can't really have positions for swimming, so we might have to
there are positions,
go by that. Yeah.
Well, I can say I gotta say my favorite stroke, though, if I had to pick like
I guess it's true. Yeah, go favorite stroke for swimming.
Yeah,
for track, I think you could do like your favorite event to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you kind of have to, exactly, kind of
ad-lib.
Yeah,
improvise.
Whereas, in swimming, it's tough because I like doing the front crawl. The front crawl is always good. It's probably one of the most fast paced, I think, out of all the strokes in swimming. But actually, one of the most intense ones, I have to say, when I did was the butterfly. I don't know if anyone knows about the butterfly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You do the kick. It's like the biggest workout, I think, ever, especially upper body. You have to thrust your chest up while throwing your arms and everything, and it's crazy.
You're like pounding your legs like up and down and up and down. Yeah, it's like you're splashing around out there. You're like a fish.
Yeah, exactly. You're like a dolphin. If you want to know how a dolphin
that's what they call
swims,
the dolphin kick.
Yeah, seriously.
Exactly,
then basically the butterfly is it's like your human dolphin kind of. But
because I work at a summer camp during the summer, and I teach swim as part of the summer camp, and one of the strokes that we do on a pretty consistent basis is the butterfly, and trying to teach some of these kids the butterfly is like pulling teeth, and it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's tough. You really gotta have the upper body strength. I'm sure you've seen the Olympics. You gotta have a lot of upper body strength for strokes for things like the butterfly. But that was I'd say definitely my favorite would be probably the breaststroke and the front crawl, just because they're both very fast paced. They're both very they're fun. So and let's see, for track, well, like I said earlier, I like my favorite ones were probably shot put, discus, and the hammer. I gotta say hammer. I didn't start hammer until actually college, because in our state, unlike states like Rhode Island, our state you can't throw the hammer in high school. I learned that kind of I didn't realize that. I didn't know anything about hammer, but I realized you couldn't throw the hammer in high school. So when I got to college, I had all these other kids from Rhode Island, and they already knew how to throw hammer. And I'm just there. I'm like. I'm like the only guy on the throwers team, by the way. It was a throwers team full of girls. They're all really awesome. The team was great. I loved being on the track team. It was just a lot of fun. The members were great. Everyone was really nice. We got along really well. But when I was a thrower, I was actually the only guy. And all these other girls from Rhode Island, they knew how to throw the shot put or the hammer and the weight. The weight's actually the same. Basically, it's like a heavier version of the hammer. And then there I was like, hi guys, I'm just a little, I'm just doing what I know. So, but I gotta say, the hammer actually became one of my favorite events in track. It's just a great it's just the motion. It's just a very fluid motion. You just kind of spin it, and it's just great when you realize after going through a fast spin, you can just release that thing really far. So, yeah, I like it.
Very cool. And so now the last sort of section we're going to go into is some fond memories we have from our three favorite sports. I'm going to start this one out. So for baseball, I've got a couple here if I need to remind myself. Over the time of my baseball career, I had the opportunity 3 different times to play in the All-Star game in town, twice in Little League and once on like the high school size diamond. And that was really cool. You sort of get to play against all the other sort of better players from all the other teams and stuff like that. It's just really cool to be a part of, and like during the All-Star games you'd have like your name announced before the game and stuff like that. So it's just a really cool experience, to play and not just play with different kids too. Get to know different kids as part of that team. So that was a lot of fun. And then we get the opportunity to win a league championship in 7th grade. My first year on the Big Diamond, my team was stacked. We had I think 3 or 4 kids that went on to be like varsity level high school players.
Nice.
And we won the championship. We swept the other team in the championship series. Nice. And I remember at the end of the game, we actually pulled a hidden ball. I forget if it was a hidden ball trick or a pickoff at second base. And for the final out of the game, and we were just all really excited and got our trophies, and it was a great team and a great experience winning the title. And then
there you go.
My other fond baseball memory is from summer after 7th grade to the summer after junior in high school. I played on the summer travel team. It wasn't like a competitive travel league. It was just like a bunch of local towns sort of playing against each other sort of for fun and stuff like that. And the towns sort of varied every year who played in and who did. And then we sort of had like a group of us that played each year, and it was just a lot of fun. Like we got to go play some cool just some other towns that we had never played in before, just this surrounding our town, and we just had like some just fun. We were all friends, like the whole team of friends and stuff like that. So we just enjoyed playing with each other and just playing the game of baseball and just going out there, and we weren't competing for like championships or anything like that. We were just competing just to have fun. So that was a really cool few years that I got to do that. Basketball, my one really fond memory from basketball, I think I mentioned this before, was one of my teams in 7th, it was in 7th grade as well. A lot of stuff happened in 7th grade apparently, sports-wise. My team went undefeated in the regular season and made it to the championship game for CYO basketball.
There you go.
We went undefeated and we made it to the championship game.
Nice.
And then we ran up against... We've talked about them before.
Oh no!
But
I knew you were gonna say
yeah, we ran up against St. Tarcisius
of
Framingham, and this 6'3" kid that basically nobody could guard, and he dropped like 25 points on us. We lost the game by 20, the championship game. So we came in second, but we did get trophies at the banquet for our runner-ups. So that was pretty cool. But it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, you guys
going defeated and make it that far was a pretty cool thing. So can't complain. And then for football, couple of fond memories. One was beating my freshman year. The last year I played, we've talked about how our town is involved in like the oldest high school rivalry in the country, Wellesley and Needham, and freshman year, our freshman team won against Needham's freshman team. I think it was like 14-0 or something like that at Needham, and that was just a really cool memory. I remember we doused the coaches with water after the game. I'm sure Kyle was on the team. He probably remembers some, and like we were just all really pumped on the bus ride home. And then another sort of thing about that year was that the freshmen, the week leading up to Thanksgiving, get to practice with the varsity and suit up for the actual varsity Thanksgiving game, Thanksgiving morning. So I did that freshman year, had a lot of fun, and even though the varsity lost, it was still really cool, just to be on the sideline for that game, and it was just I know you were as well, just a really cool experience. Something I'll never forget. So those are my fond memories from back in the day of my sports playing career, and now I'm gonna let Kyle give some of his fond memories.
Well, I can't say I have a really lot of fun memories for swimming in particular. I mean, I just kind of did it. I'm not gonna lie. So I'll probably just go on to my other two sports.
That's fine.
Let's see. I'm gonna start with track. Track actually I did it for about 7 years. That was it was a great run. I did it from freshman year of high school all the way to junior year of college, and I'm glad I did it for that long. Keeps you in shape and everything. And honestly, the best memory I've had I was really my time at Wheaton. It was actually my 3 years at Wheaton. I was in probably the best team I was ever in. I made all my I met a lot of great people there. I have a lot of really great friends on that team. And I just had a great time. It really just made my years in college that much better, actually, I thought. Especially junior year was nice too, because it was the year I felt I did the best. I just kind of, from the beginning of the year, sometimes you have those years where, you go up and down, or you just have a terrible year, but that year was the one year for any sport that I just said, you know what, I'm going to do the best I can, I'm not going to let anything get me down, and I actually had the best season, I think. I've had the best throws, and just I just had a really good feeling from that last season. I feel kind of bad I couldn't do senior year because of I did student teaching, and I had to get my studio art. So it was a combination of studio art and student teaching. I had to get ready for all that kind of all those senior projects. So I just couldn't. I couldn't do it then, which I kind of feel bad about. But at the same time, it was a good year. I just liked being on the track team. It was just a lot of fun. I gotta say for football, well, I'll do two memories, since I couldn't think of one for swimming. So I'll pick two from football. One was sophomore year, and I think I mentioned this on the last episode, or one of the more recent ones we talked about football. When I was sophomore year of football, really kind of changed my life. I thought it was just overall it was probably the biggest physical challenge I've ever faced. I'm not gonna lie, and it really, I thought, really kind of turned my outlook in a good way on life, and just kind of, and it just I was just feeling great every day I was in football for that season. I was feeling great. I was very happy to be on the team, and I thought we had a great team that season. I'll definitely never forget sophomore year. We even won. It was great that we even the feeling that we won. I'm sure you were at that game, right? When the team, I remember that last touchdown. It was like a kind of a.
The Thanksgiving game?
The Thanksgiving game. Yeah.
I was there. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was
snowing. It was like snowing that day. I feel like
it was a sunny day, but yes, there was
still a lot of snow. Yeah. Maybe it's the day before, but you guys scored. was saying like the last minute or two of that game, if I remember to like win the game, and it was really saying. I think there was almost like. I think the one thing I remember about that game. Sorry to derail you here. One thing I remember about that game is like the end of the first half. I think it was like one of the Wellesley D line and one of like the Needham offensive linemen almost got into a fight on the field at like the end of the first.
Oh, I think I remember that.
And like it was like really intense, and luckily nothing else happened after that. But it was
it was pretty clean the rest of the game.
It was that was a good game. So yeah.
I just remember like us rushing down the field, and I was on the sideline for when the last touchdown was made. So we all rushed down. We were all cheering and. It's just a great feeling. I really felt connected with the team that year. I really felt like I was part of something amazing. So I'll never forget that year. That really taught me what being part of a team was like, and that was great. I also liked senior year. Senior year was another interesting year, because it was good. It wasn't my favorite year. I'm not gonna try to.
We get it.
Sugarcoat. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it, but it was not my favorite year. It was probably actually my second favorite year, though. Just because it was kind of the year where I don't know. I just was. Sometimes you just do something for a while, and sometimes you get tired of it after a while. And not saying I got like really tired of football, but there were times where I kind of was. It was the fourth year of football, and I was starting to get a little tired of it. But at the end of the day, I was actually very glad that I did all 4 years of football. It's a great feeling to finish, to just finish strong, because that's what I did. I stuck with it. I wanted to finish something that I started 4 years, so it was great. And I remember the last game was actually, it wasn't quite as happy as the game, the Thanksgiving game sophomore year, because we lost, but it was just I just remember that game was something really special, It's your senior year game, and you realize that it's the last time you ever play football. It's the last moment. After that, that's it. Unless you do college. I didn't do college football, so because there's.
Partially your school didn't have a football team.
Undefeated. Yeah, no football. So
it's like one of those schools like undefeated. It says. Whatever year they were.
Whenever the school is established. So,
you guys at Babson,
yeah. So obviously some people from obviously there were a number of people from the team that continued football,
right.
But I was not one of them. I was just kind of I knew that was going to be my last year, and it was a great feeling. The last game, even though we lost, it was. I just remember the beginning of the game. They showed us They gave us a video. It was a pump up video. They had like this awesome '80s music. I think they had like AC/DC and just a bunch of really cool songs, and really pumped you up, and like it had even the epic trailer music, you hear movie trailers, da 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 da, yeah,
Sure,
but
yeah.
Anyways, I'm just rambling. So it was just a great feeling, I was really pumped up when I saw that video, and the game was very intense, and even though we lost, it was still it was very emotional, and like it was just the last moment that we ever really played football, and I just thought it was something special. It was it was definitely something I'll never forget. So.
All right, well, thank you for sharing. It's kind of cool to go down memory lane and just sort of like talk. It sort of brings the memories back. So it's pretty cool to share what's in our heads with the people of YouTube.
There you go. From my heads to you.
So now we're going to move on to, as always, our final portion of our episode with our monologues. I will begin. My monologue today is going to be on the Olympics and hockey, to be specific, which is probably partially because that's one of the only sports I really watch. But I just want to sort of give a congratulations to both the men's and women's ice hockey team from the United States. They both have made it very far. The women are playing actually for the gold medal tomorrow against Canada. And then the men are actually playing against Canada on Friday in the semifinals with a chance to go to the gold medal. And just hockey is a really fun sport to watch in the Olympics. Much like, I mean, the Olympics are just fun to watch in general, but hockey especially because you've got all these players, a lot of whom are from the NHL or from other professional leagues, and to them it's all about country and just like playing for their home country and giving it everything they got. I think it's just a really cool thing. Yeah. For the U.S. every year is about beating the Canadians, which we didn't do in 2010. Hopefully we'll do in 2014. But no, it's just watching Olympic hockey is really cool, really fun to watch, and it's weird. You're used when you're watching like professional games that being on like 7 o'clock at night, stuff like that. Well, seeing the fact that the Olympics are in Russia this year, a lot of the games have been on like 7:30 in the morning, which has been kind of interesting there. Watching hockey live at 7:30 in the morning, but it's a really cool. The Olympics are just I think a really cool thing in hockey, especially. I just want to wish the U.S. teams the best of luck in their remaining games, and hope they can both bring home the gold this year, because that'd be really cool. So that's the end of my monologue. Now I'm going to throw it over to Kyle here to give us what he's got for this week.
I really don't have a lot. I just want to talk a little bit about the Olympics too, I guess. It's what's going on? Oh, I was watching the bobsleighing. That was a lot of fun too. I never realized how actually one interesting thing I wanted to point out was in the U.S. team for the girls bobsledding. I think the team that placed first. I can't remember the names. I should have actually looked up the names before I talked about this. But one of the players, one of the members, I think, actually used to do track, which is kind of interesting. She just did. She would do track for like the Summer Olympics. But then to see her now on like the bobsleighing team, and I never realized how, because when I think of bobsledding, I think of just you just hop on a sled and then just go, and there's really no exercise to it. But no. when I really looked at it, especially like the past week it's been going on, I realized you actually really have to have a good kind of push for it. You really have to kind of have a good upper body strength, but also you have to run really fast. And that was kind of cool seeing someone who used to do track is now part of bobsledding, because she can now use her running ability, her incredibly quick feet to kind of just quickly push the bobsleighing down, and I think that really helped the team out, because they placed first. So
well, again, best of luck to all the American teams that are still going on. Yeah, I know he's half Canadian,
and
so
Canada. I wish you
we've
the best
been trying
of luck,
we've been trying to deport him for years, but it hasn't worked. But regardless, best of luck to all the United States teams still out there. Congratulations to all the USA teams that have already won medals, and U.S. athletes, and
congratulations to the Canadians that have won medals as well.
Okay, whatever you say. But anyway, thanks as always for watching the latest episode of On a Couch Talking Sports. It's been a pleasure as always being with you, and we hope to see you again next time. As always, that's Kyle. I'm Robbie. Again, thanks for watching. Take it easy.
How's it going? Go Canada.